for 2 is finally here, guys, and the hype is extremely real. I'm pretty sure you got a couple games. Some of you got some really good kills. Let me know what's the highest kill game you have. But with that being said, guys, after getting those amazing kills, you're probably saying, man, my game is not running very well, very optimal on my PC. How can I get it to run optimal? Well, that's why you guys have this video here, giving you guys the best PC settings ultimate guide, which will cover the best PC settings for lower end hardware. We're also going to cover the best PC settings for those of you who have amazing hardware as well. And I'm also going to be teaching you guys how to upgrade your graphic drivers for those of you who don't know how to upgrade your graphic drivers. I was going to talk a little bit about the beta requirements, but I think a lot of you guys should already know that. So with that being said, guys, let's jump in and talk about, guys, the best graphical settings for a high-end PC. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to go to our settings wheel right here. And when there's settings still, I love the fact that they actually put it on the right-hand side. And we're going to go straight into the graphic settings right here. And within the graphic settings, we're going to have the following. So, of course, if you guys are running, of course, your PC, a lot of you guys are going to want to be running in full screen. Full screen will give you the best resolution, the best quality when it comes to the game. I personally run in full screen Borderlands because I do a lot of multitasking when I'm playing. But the best setting right here was definitely going to be, guys, full screen. Now, in addition to that, we have constrained mouse. You're going to want to make sure you guys keep that off. That's going to help you quite a lot as well. Then we have display monitor. Of course, you're going to select the monitor, your primary monitor, and of course, you're going to want to make sure you're running the right graphic cards. As you guys see right here, we got a 3090. Now, hopefully, we get that 4090 as soon as it comes out, and we're able to get better fidelity when it comes to the game. Now, of course, the screen refresh rate, guys, that's going to be dependent not only on your monitor, but what I would suggest, guys, is you want to make sure, just because your monitor runs at a high frame rate, if you're going to be streaming, you're probably going to want to cap this at least at 120 to 60 frames per second. If you're streaming, if you're not streaming and you're just playing and not recording at all, you're just going to want to make sure you leave it at the, a really good frame resolution that runs really good. Mine runs at 144, but you have 120, 60, and 30. Definitely 30 would not be a good option. You're probably going to want to make sure you keep it within that range. Now, for the display resolution, guys, this is going to be dependent on what you're running. I personally run this on 4K, so that's the one I'm running. But now moving on to the most important thing, guys, dynamic resolution. You want to make sure this is completely set to off. And then you want to go to aspect ratio. On aspect ratio, you want to make sure you keep it automatically. That's just going to give you the kind of like your real estate when it comes to your screen. The VSync gameplay. Now, this is going to make sure you maintain this off. VSync menus, you're going to make sure you take that off. And on here, guys, we got custom frame limit. You're going to go to customs, and you're going to click where it says show more. And this is where things get a little bit interesting because remember, gameplay customization frame limit, whatever you guys put right here in the screen refresh rate, that is what you're going to want to go here, because if you're running this one very high and this one really low, then it's going to not do anything. So basically, just copy whatever screen refresh rate you have onto the custom frame rate limit. So once guys, we could just go here and we could just type in 144 and boom, bada bing, we're matching the screen refresh rate. Now moving on, guys, we have the menu custom frame rate limit. Now for this one in particular, guys, you don't have to be running this at 120. That is overkill for the menu. What you want to do, guys, you want to drop this down to 60. That should give you a very well balanced menu interest and transaction. When you go from game to menu, you probably won't even feel a difference. And of course, we have the out of focus custom frame limit. This one, guys, you're going to want to make sure you set it to 15. 30 is just way too high. Remember, you not only want to save a little bit of your, resources here, your VRAM, but you also want to make sure that, you have the optimal settings, all right? So we're going to click show less, and that's going to bring it back up. Now let's start right here, guys, with the restart shader optimization. This is only important if your game crashes or you have some issues. You're going to want to come here and hit this. So just skip this, guys, because we're going to move right along. From here, guys, we're going to go to display gamma. You're going to leave it the way it is at 2.2. For the brightness, that I'm going to recommend, guys, to select it and keep it within between 55 to 60. That is the brightness setting that you guys want to have. And remember, you picked this at the beginning of the game, so you're just going to want to double check that you have it between 55 and 60. All right, so now onto focus mode, guys. For focus modes, we're going to leave that off. Okay, so we're going to make sure that's off. All right, so now moving to the high dynamic range. This is if you have HDR enabled. So the first thing, guys, if you don't have HDR, so if your monitor does not have HDR, or your computer does not support HDR, you're just going to want to make sure you turn it off. There's no reason to have automatic. Automatic's going to be running in the back, and it's going to kind of figure out what operating system you have. So you might as well just turn it off. If you plan on streaming, you might as well have it off, because HDR currently right now, it does work through OBS, but you still have to go through the process of YouTube and Twitch. So there's no point on you running it on HDR unless you have a streaming PC, so you just turn it off. Now, if you're just playing off your PC and just want to get the best quality, you're going to probably leave it in automatic or leave it on if you're 100% sure you have HDR. So once again, off if you're streaming, off if you don't have it, on if you have it and just want to play, or automatic if you don't know what you're doing. All right, so now that we got the display out of the way, let's go over and talk about quality. So we're going to apply those settings. We're going to go to quality here, and quality is going to give us a little bit more stuff. So quality presets, we're going to leave this in recommended. It has minimal, basic, balance, and ultra. Depending on your PC, if you want the best quality, you're going to go to ultra. That's going to give you a lot, but you guys see the big increase we have on VRAM. So the VRAM goes really, really high. We have it balanced, minimal, or basic, but reset recommended is the one I would choose. That's going to give you the best setting for your particular PC and, of course, your graphic card. Now, rendering resolution, guys, this is where things get a little bit interesting because rendering resolution is going to determine how much rendering quality you get when you're playing the game. This I would leave at 100 because it's going to take whatever your monitor resolution is and apply it to here. So that I would just automatically go ahead and leave default. Next up, guys, we have the NVIDIA DLS and the NVIDIA image scaling, guys. These ones we're going to leave alone because they are completely grayed out. So we don't really need that one. All right, so from here, guys, we're going to go all the way down here and go straight into the Fidelity CAS. This one, guys, you're going to want to make sure you leave it on, and you're going to click where it shows more, and you want to set this guy to 75. This is just going to give you a little bit better resolution when it comes to the fidelity and the contrast of the actual game itself. So that's where you want to leave that right there, 75. That should give you guys better quality. All right, so next up, guys, we go to the anti-aliasing, and this is basically going to reduce those rugged edges when you actually see a character, when you see a weapon. And we're going to move this one and put that SMA-T22 and change that one from what it had default. That's going to give you guys better quality and also better resolution. Next, guys, we have the nearby level of detail. We're going to select that and leave that at high. You should have it in high. All right, so next we're going to be talking about the details and texturing, guys. So stuff that really matters. This one right here, we got texture resolution. It's set to high. It doesn't really matter if you have it on high, but I personally recommend you run it on normal. You'll see the big difference drop off that we get with normal, and that saves a little bit more VRAM, and you don't lose any sort of fidelity. It's just the colors look exactly the same on high and normal. You're just going to be taking a lot of chunk from your VRAM, so I would definitely check that to normal. Texture filtering, guys, you're going to want to make sure you leave that at high. That's going to give you that nice fidelity, as you guys see right there on the side particle images. Then we have particle qualities, guys. This one's going to be really good because this is going to actually let you see those particle effects really good, like when stuff are blowing up or when they're sparkling, stuff like that. You're going to go ahead and leave that on high. Then we have the bullet impact. You're going to leave that on high as on because you definitely want to see where the bullets are actually hitting. Then we're going to go to the shader quality. Now, for the shader quality, guys, this is going to be unneeded when you have it on high. You're going to want to make sure you set this to medium, because the shader quality is really not important in the game. You won't even notice the difference if you have it high or not. So why take up more RAM when you don't have to, right? Then we have tessellation, guys. Now this one in particular, guys, it's currently set to off. What you want to do is set this to near. Basically what near does is whenever things are near or you're close to that specific item, there's going to go ahead and take a place. If for some reason you're not near anything, it's not going to happen. It's really good. It's going to give you a little bit more fidelity, a little bit more punch when it comes to your, to your game. So definitely want to set that to near because you want to have it enabled, but you don't want to have it enabled all the time. All right, so next, guys, we have on-demand textual streaming. Now this particular, guys, I'm going to leave this as a personal option. This is primarily if you guys have a big hard drive or if you have a really good VRAM. Basically what this does is if you have on-demand on, that's going to mean that is textual. It's going to be kind of stored in your PC and it's always going to be sitting there. And you're going to need at least 24 gigabytes constantly on your PC every single time. What I would recommend is to turn this off. And basically what that's going to do is every time you load up the game, it's going to download the pack for you. And when you're not playing the game, it's not going to have the pack. So it's very important because you want to save a little bit of, that extra hard drive space and that extra loading time that you get. So I would turn it to off. That's my suggestion, but you can leave it on if you want. That's going to be kind of like a personal preference. Now, streaming quality, guys, this one right here is set to normal. Streaming quality is going to give you the quality of the map in general. You only want to see really good when you're close to the vicinity or when you could actually see stuff. You don't want to see the whole entire map in extremely really good resolution. So what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm actually going to bring this down to low because that's not going to do anything with my gameplay. It's still going to make it look really dope, and it's going to give it a very nice punch. All right, so next up, let's go to shadow lighting, guys. This is not going to be extremely important because you won't even notice it, guys, even if you're on high-end PC. If you run these in high, You might think, well, I'm still gonna get the really good quality. No, guys, it doesn't matter if you have a really high-end PC. You're gonna want to set these to the number I'm gonna tell you guys. So what you want to do here, guys, is you're gonna want to set these to normal, or you could set these to low, because you want to make sure not only do you save a little bit of VRAM, but the game is actually running smooth like butter, as opposed to looking really good and not running smooth, right? So that's the main thing. So that's going to be for the shadow mapping. You're going to set that to normal. If it's still a little bit choppy in the sense that you feel like it's, your PC's not handling that much, you're just going to set it to low and you guys should be good to go. Now, spot shadow quality, guys. Now for spot shadow quality, guys, we're going to set this to medium as well. You can set these, it's between low and medium, but I think normal and medium are really good spots right here. Shadow spot, shadow caching here, guys, you're going to leave those on so you don't have to load those every time you load in. Particle lighting, guys, the particle lighting, this is set to normal, so leave it at normal. Ambient occlusion, guys, what we're going to do here is, guys, we're just going to go automatically and turn this completely off. As you guys notice, there is not much of a difference. If you see the difference, this just gives you that soft shadowing when it comes to seeing vehicles or cars. So we're going to turn that off. SSR, we're going to go ahead and turn that automatically to off. And moving on to the post-processing effects. Now, this is where people kind of get lost. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to go off these really quick. So reflex low latency, we're going to leave it to on. Depth of field, we're going to go ahead and turn that off. World motion blur, we're going to turn that to off. Weapon motion blur, we're going to turn that to off. And the film grain, no, we don't. Who wants film grain? Come on now. We're going to automatically and turn that to 0. Now we got those. Let's go ahead and take a look at the view. Now for the view, guys, field of view, guys, this is, I think default, it comes down to 80. My best setting that I want to recommend here, guys, is 105. I think that's the perfect sweet spot, but I want to know from you guys in the comment section down below, what do you prefer? Do you prefer 120? I have played with 120. 120 is actually pretty good. It takes a little bit getting used to. It seems like you're zooming through the map, but I think 105 is a very good sweet spot personally. But I personally like to play in 120. I like the field of view at that height, especially when I'm playing Warzone, but when I'm playing multiplayer, 105 is the way to actually go. Now, ADS field of view, guys, so this is ADSing field of view. For ADS field of view, I believe this one comes independent, so you're going to want to make sure you set it to effective. Weapon field of view, I think this one comes narrow or default. You're going to want to make sure you set this to wide, so the weapon looks a little bit smaller, so it doesn't take up too much of your real estate. You're able to see more of the map, more of the mini map, stuff like that. So that's definitely what you want to go for here. Third person field of view, you're going to want to leave it at default. I think default is 80. I personally run it at 90, but default is a very good setting. I mean, if you like larger field of views, then definitely 90 is the way to go. Vehicle field of view, guys, this one right here, I leave it at default. I personally like to run it on wide, but default would probably be the best setting for you guys to pick from. And of course, the first person camera movement and the third person camera movement, leave that at 100. And you guys should be good to go. That is the best PC settings for when it comes to a high-end PC. All right, so now you guys have a low-end PC. Let's go off these really quick. Basically, guys, you're going to want to make sure you leave everything that I said in the high-end PC option, the display option, leave it default. The only thing you're going to be changing is you're going to be changing the HDR, this one, instead of automatically, you're just going to completely turn that off. Okay, so that's the only thing you're changing. If you already have it off, you're able to move to the quality tab, which should be good to go. All right, so enough for the quality tab, guys. For the quality tab, once again, if you guys followed my video for the high end, what you're going to do is you're going to do a quality preset. We have it a custom. What you want to do, if you're running a low-end PC, you're going to go ahead and put this to recommended settings, so reset to recommended, and that's going to give you the best quality. Now, moving on from there, guys, we're going to go to the part right here where it says detail and texturing. This is where we're going to be doing most of the changes. So texture resolution, guys, you're going to want to set that to low. Texture filtering, you're going to want to set that to medium. Particle quality, you're going to want to set these to medium. Bullet impact spray, I would set this to off. This is going to, I know you probably want to keep it on. Set it to off, guys, and see if that's going to give you guys a better advantage, especially if you have a low-end PC. Shader quality, guys, this one for the shader quality, you're going to set this to low. This one, the tessel, you're going to want to make sure instead of near, you turn it completely off. And this one, you want to make sure you set to low as well. On-demand texturing, guys, for streaming, you're going to set that to off. Streaming, you're going to go ahead and keep it at low if you follow my video, or just keep it at low, whatever it is. And guys, now moving to the shadow and lighting. Now for the shadow and lighting, guys, you're going to go low here, low. You're going to turn this off. You're going to set this to medium, the particle lightings. And the ambient one, you're going to want to make sure you turn it off. SSR, you're going to make sure you leave it off as well. Now, of course, for the view section here, you're going to want to make sure you guys keep this in no more than 110. So you're not going to be able to do 120 if you wanted to. I would recommend leaving it at 95 or 100. That would be like the sweet spot, especially if you have a low-end PC, because the more higher the field of view is, the more you're going to be taking a chance on the PC crashing. So between 95 and 100 is what I would recommend in the field of view. For the ADS field of view, of course, affected, we're going to go ahead and leave this to wide. We're going to go ahead and go the third person field of view. We're going to leave it at 80. Vehicle field of view default 100, 100, and that is what you want to run if you have a low-end PC, and that should give you better, more VRAM and a little bit more space within your system. And there you guys have it, guys. Those are the best PC settings for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I hope you guys are enjoying the beta as much as we are. If you are, do me the heats favor, guys. Drop a comment, drop a like. But most importantly, subscribe to this channel, turn on all your notifications so you guys don't miss our videos. We're going to have you guys covered with everything multiplayer when it comes to Modern Warfare 2, Apex, and any other really good game that comes out. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.